So there's a story that's been developing coming from the city of Pescara in Italy. No, ladies and gentlemen, you haven't read the title of the video wrong. Those are the alleged circumstances surrounding a recent shooting at a restaurant. A man was said to have opened fire on a chef after it was reported that he took too long cooking a man's kebab. I mean, we all get annoyed at food taking too long in a restaurant, but to allegedly shoot someone over it is pretty wild. Now, because the English articles running the story are quite short, I've gone to sources in Italy, but of course the translation could be slightly off. For the most part though, we can paint a picture of what was said to have gone down. So we've got to rewind back to the 4th of April 2022, and 29-year-old Federico Pecorale had arrived in Pescara to visit family. He's thought to have been living in Switzerland at the time. According to employees, it's thought that he'd been dining at the Casa Rusti restaurant since his arrival. They described him, up until the shooting, as calm and polite with members of staff. All we know so far is that according to investigators, they've told reporters that on Saturday the 16th of April 2022, an incident went down within the restaurant involving a group of boys. They said next to his table were a group of Romanian boys who made fun of his disability. They laughed at him, and for this exact reason, the next day he armed himself with a handgun. The next day, Sunday 17th of April 2022, he returned to the restaurant once again. This time, of course, he was armed. It's thought that he sat down, ordered a dish of kebabs, and everything was running smoothly. However, when he ordered a second dish, it took its time to come out. Slightly annoyed, he asked Chef Yelfri Guzman how long the food was going to take, and he told him it'd be out soon. But when he noticed that other people who had entered after him were getting served, and he wasn't, it pushed him over the edge. Infuriated, he began demanding his food, and when Yelfri began laughing, he marched over to him, punched him in the face, and went on to shoot him 5 times. 4 of them connected. Federico went on to tell detectives that once Yelfri had began to laugh, it gave him flashbacks of the group of boys who had laughed at him the day prior, so he felt the need to shoot him. Either way, Federico would go on to flee the scene and left the father for one for dead. Yelfri was rushed to hospital with gunshot injuries to the neck and chest, but luckily would go on to survive the attack. However, sadly, he fears he may have been left paralysed. After fleeing the scene, Federico had gone back to visit family to seek refuge with them before catching a taxi where he headed for Switzerland. But the taxi driver had been a retired policeman who had 40 years in the force. We don't know how the taxi driver knew he had the shooter in the vehicle. Maybe he thought the big trip was suspicious. Maybe it was just his experience, but he knew he had him. So they drove to a service station. He went on to alert police. They swooped in and arrested Federico. He was then taken to a police station where he gave his version of events. But some reports do say that an argument had broken out over the kebab being too salty. Either way, the circumstances are completely ridiculous. Federico has since been charged with attempted murder and illegal possession of a firearm. That's all the information we do have surrounding this case so far though. I'm not too clued up on Italian law, so I'm not too sure what will happen next. Maybe an Italian viewer could let me know down in the comments section below, and I'll pin that comment. For now though, give the video a like for more crime related content like this, and make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't. It's been me, Huncho, and I'll see you in the next one.